Trump just talked about secret alien technologies they've been hiding again, and he's alluding to possibly meeting aliens while he's president. Guys, make sure and click the plus sign because I'm gonna more of this you don't want to miss. Sound off in the comments, tell me what you think, hit that notification bell. But if you've been following this and you saw my last video on this, Trump has been laying what I think are some very interesting hints about what's coming when it comes to our ET brothers and sisters actually coming back and reuniting with humanity. And in this clip, it's very telling. He talks about technologies that are out of this world. I want you to take a look at this and then we'll discuss.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. So let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, even not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not.
Is it just me, or does this sound like Trump is just itching to tell secrets that he can't? Almost like he desperately wants to scream, look, we can teleport. We've got UFOs. We can do all of these things. You guys have no idea. And if you've been following me, then you know I've told you, I believe that Trump is working with a positive breed of ETs called the pleiadians. Think of them as like the best, healthiest, most beautiful versions of ourselves who want to help the planet, along with other races. A lot of times people will call this the Galactic Federation. And when you take an office like his, there are all types of secrets and things like this that a lot of times even the presidents don't get access to. But I think this time he's got a lot of full access. And you might think, okay, if what I'm saying is true, why doesn't he just come out and say it? You can't, because we have to prepare the normies. So they have to drip, 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 drip it. But it just looks like he's itching to say something. And I love it. And then there's another one, guys. I've been talking about med beds and all this different technology, light, sound, vibrational, frequency technology I've been using recently to heal myself, some of which I'm not even necessarily allowed to talk about. And here we have my hero, RFK, and he just made a very bold statement I want you guys to listen to. He just said that by this September, he is going to have an answer for what's caused the rise of autism. Take a look at this.
And we have, as you we have now, the autism rates have gone from now most recent numbers we think are going to be about 1 in 31, 1 in 20, so they're going up again. From 1 in 10,000 when I was a kid. And we are going, at your direction, we are going to know by September. We've launched a massive testing and research effort that's going to involve hundreds of scientists from around the world. By September, we will know what has caused the autism epidemic, and we'll be able to eliminate those exposures.
So big. Think of that. So it was 1 in 10,000 children had autism, and now it's 1 in 31. Not 31,000, 31. That's a horrible statistic, isn't it? And there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. So you think you're going to have a pretty good idea, huh?
We will know by September.
There will be no bigger news conference than that. So that's it. If you can come up with that answer where you stop taking something, you stop eating something, or maybe it's a shot, but something's causing it. It can't be from 10,000 to. Can you imagine that, Marga? That's a big number. Thank you very much. You're doing great. Thank you, Bobby.
So a few things that you didn't see. This was actually a 5-minute clip, but I wanted to get it down for you guys because I don't know that you want to watch that long, but he talked about a few things. He talked about looking into how safe fluoride is, which I love. We have been screaming about this for years. He talked about the epidemic of children having diabetes and wanting to eliminate that, getting the chemicals, the dyes out of our foods, specifically baby formulas. Why would you ever put that stuff in there? But then he talked about the tism. Now, depending on what side of the spectrum that you go in terms of information, there is all types of data and information out there. Some sides with the fact that the autism might be caused by, I hate doing this, I just don't know what I can say. You used to not even be able to say certain words on here like that. That's what it was caused by. And then of course, a lot of people said, a lot of different experts said, no, we have no data for that, this, that, and the other. And I love that what Trump just said, he is alluding to that. Now, here's what I want to say about all this. There is growing research and evidence that autism could be linked to heavy metals. A lot of us have a lot of heavy metal buildup in our systems as well as chemical systems, and it's possible that this could be a buildup, and that is what is causing these issues, along with other things too. They're also seeing this pattern when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia. And I think one of the things that's going to tie ETs coming down to Earth again is the fact that we're going to get information and technology to actually get us in good health. Most of us are walking around in poor health, even if you don't know it. Do you know on average, a lot of people walk around with 10 to 15 infections in their body at all times? And a lot of them are small and minor, and it's just stuff that your body controls. And some of them are crazy and get out of control. And I'm one of those people that's happened to, and things will build up over time in the system so that we're all walking around so sick. Here's another one. Why is it over the last couple hundred years, everybody has allergies? This is a bit of a new one. And I'm not trying to say they didn't exist at all before, but again, it's like autism. It's the rate in which they've been happening and how many people they happen to. And apparently we're just supposed to believe, oh, this just happens. Your immune system just overreacts for no reason because apparently your body's just stupid and flawed. I don't buy that. I think for too long, all of the truth of all of our health issues have been so suppressed. Listen, I'm not even taking a side in this. I don't even necessarily care what the answer is. I just want answers so we can be happier and healthier. And also these processed food, guys. Processed foods were created during times of war for the soldiers to make sure and have something, and they are not supposed to be foods that you eat your whole life. And I'm not saying this to put anybody down or wag my finger at people, because at this point, most of us don't even have a choice in the United States. And before people get mad at me in the comments, look, I am not I'm not any of that. Here's what I am. I'm like, can we clean these up? Why are there aborted fetal cells in these? Why are there all types of heavy metals? And I've heard about the heavy metals. Oh, well, they're in there. Certain things are in there because it's a preservative. And I'm like, we can't use something else. We can't do better. I understand the concept of a and I'm all for it if the data backs it up. Why can't we clean them up? Why do we have to have all these things? And furthermore, why is it when you are a baby, you get 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s? You get all of these things in one or few injections when you are a few months old and your system is still developing. Let me ask you a question. When you go in for a surgery, do they just do 40 surgeries all at once? Why not? Because the body is going to have a real hard time healing from all of that trauma. So why would we do that to a baby? And why did we jump from just a handful of these to some children taking hundreds of these before they're 5 years old? Now, guys, I want to tell you a little bit of a story on what happened to me with this. For some reason, when I was 5 years old, I had one of those days, I remember the whole day, and I'll never forget it. So the day that I got my last round of before I had to go into kindergarten, the last big round that you have to get before they'll let you in, I remember that whole day, and I don't know why. I remember getting it. And it's weird, I'd gotten them before, but for some reason, my brain said, remember this. We had a little cheerleading camp. I ate little powdered donuts. I could tell you, like all the people we hung out with for whatever reason. I have a horrible memory too. And I remember how painful it was. And it was a week after that, as I started kindergarten, I started getting sick. And I didn't stop getting sick. I couldn't stop getting colds and flus. And from that, created asthma, extreme allergies that just got worse and worse. Now, I wouldn't have thought anything about it, except when I was 12 years old, that was the last time I got a the very last time. What happened was, I remember I was in 6th grade and I had a grandparent that demanded we go get this for the flu. And I said, this seems stupid. I don't want to do this. And I was told, no, you have to, you have to, you have to. It's going to make you healthy. I remember after that, immediate reaction. I had never been sicker that year than I ever had. I could not stop getting colds and flus. And I remember thinking at that age, this is wild. And as I've been older and I've become disabled and I've been unwrapping everything that's happened to my health, I can't help but think, are there links to these things? And have other people gone through this? And now I know I'm one of those people, I don't react well to these. And it's probably because there's such a buildup of crap in my immune system, it can't handle it. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is Trump letting out some secrets about ET tech, even with our health? What do you think about all this stuff that RFK is saying? amazing. Tell me your thoughts, guys. Sound up in the comments, click the plus sign. I got a whole lot more coming, and don't anybody worry. We're about to create an amazing world. You guys have no idea what's coming.